I'm Brian Wagner from Wagner's Rose Nursery, and I'm going to give you a demonstration on how to prune a rose bush. What I'm going to do now is remove about half of this wood. I'm going to prune to roughly about 50 centimetres in length. The main rules in pruning a rose bush is cut out your old wood and prune to shape. And honestly, those two rules are generally enough. You're going to be about 99% there when it comes to producing lovely flowers for late spring, early summer. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to remove about half of this wood, just so that I can clean the plant out a bit and I can see where I'm actually working. So I'm going to lop all this off quite quickly and fairly hard. And this is good enough. I've never to this day looked at the top bud to see if it's pointing out. I think for me that's really not necessary. It just slows the whole pruning process down, and I've never done it in my life. So now that I've opened this up a little bit and I can see where I'm working, I'm just going to prune it to shape, and I'm going to try and cut out some of the older wood. I'm just going to get a pair of loppers here to remove some of this big old wood here. So I'm going to come in really hard with this. There's a big old bit of wood down the bottom here which I'm going to totally remove. As you can see there, that's very old sort of wood in here, and I don't want it. There's another piece down here which is actually quite old. I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to take this. I'm going to take part of this one out. It's there's a bit of old dead wood here that I'm just going to remove. Now, there's a bit more old dead wood in here that I'm going to take out. But just get in as hard as you can and just cut it out. Now I've got a little bit of wood in the centre here. Look, not really necessary, but we'll open it up. We'll get a bit of air in the centre of this plant. This is quite close to this other cane, so I'm going to try and get in there and just remove that. There's some very old spindly wood in here. I'm just going to remove that. I'll take this little side one. Never cut your canes back really flush, just leave a little bit of a knob on there, because you'll quite often get shoots that will break from the side of this plant. You could most probably take the centre one out if you wanted to, but not really necessary. Remember that we're living in a really good environment in South Australia or Australia compared with, say, Europe. So I've always thought that it's not overly necessary to open the centre up. If you've got a nice good strong cane in the centre, which this one is, I'd most probably leave it. But to me that's most probably good enough. Next year what I'd be doing would be maybe trying to cut out this old bit of wood in here and this old one in here. And just clean this out a little bit in the centre, and that is good enough. I'll most probably cut this out and remove this. Just cut it back really hard, as hard as you can, and this other one in here, just to tidy it up a little bit, and that is plenty good enough. This is all you have to do.